Okay, I have Bob Norris with me, one of our Kootenai County Sheriff candidates, and we're going to talk a little bit today, just ask him a few questions and learn a little bit more about you. So thanks so much for doing this, and kind of give a little intro into everyone that hasn't met you or don't know you yet, a little bit about yourself, and then also why are you running for sheriff?
Absolutely. My name is Robert Bob Norris, and I am a candidate to be your sheriff. I am currently a Kootenai County Sheriff Search and Rescue member. I do have 30 years of law enforcement experience. I actually have worked, supervised, and managed assets in both patrol and in our jail side. My last unit of assignment was Chief of Law Enforcement Services for 3 cities. And I am married. I have 4 children here in Kootenai County. I have 2 grandchildren here in Kootenai County, 2 of them currently in Coeur d'Alene schools. And as you can see, I love my North Idaho life with my backyard here. And why am I running? Well, there are several reasons why I'm running. Is I want to involve the sheriff's office into our community. Many people have said, Bob, you know, almost 2 years ago, you started being in the parades and going to some of these events, and why are you starting so early? And I said, well, I don't really view it as starting early for the campaign. It's how I want to involve the sheriff's office into our community. And I'm going to do that through a series of town hall meetings, because I want to go to every community in this county, and I want to hear what your concerns are and what your issues are. And where your issues and what your concerns are will be our issues and our concerns. For an example, in February, we started to do town hall meetings because of the COVID-19 issue. And what the takeaway on that COVID-19 that I wanted people to know was to be calm, be informed, and be prepared. And that the next 30 to 45 days, obviously this was in February, the next 30 to 45 days was going to be very telling about the degree of our impact of this COVID-19. So I engaged the community in town hall meetings through this campaign like I'm going to do as your sheriff, not just on election year. I think town hall meetings are a great way to connect with the people so I can hear what's important to you. Another reason why I'm running, it's I got to tell you, I have read and seen some of the exit interviews from the employees leaving the sheriff's office, and it's not necessarily because of pay. I think that we could all agree that we've worked for some managers before, and we worked for some leaders. And leaders make you want to come to work. Managers make you dread to come to work. So we're going to change that philosophy from a culture of managers to a culture of leaders. And we're going to retain the very, very best of the Kootenai County, both the deputies and the professional staff. So, and you know, I got to tell you, another reason is this growth. Whether you like it or not, growth is coming. And I am the only candidate that has experience in dealing with this growth and implementing crime strategies and engaging the public, such as in these town hall meetings. And that's the reason why I'm running for sheriff.
Well, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit, what's your favorite thing about Kootenai County?
Well, you know, I grappled with this one. You know, I was going back and forth between Mother Nature and the people, but I got to tell you, it's really the people, because that really is what makes this community. We have a lot of great people in here, and a lot of great organizations that want to help the underprivileged or at-risk people, and it makes for a better overall community. And as your sheriff, I care about everybody in the community, not just the voters, not just the criminal element. I care about everybody.
Perfect. So what is one thing that everyone should know about you?
One thing that everybody should know about me is I don't bring any type of California baggage with me. I'm very conservative. I have actually worked stations where people ride their horse to work and ride their horse to town. Los Angeles County is not this this hub of South Central Los Angeles, where it's a urban city. We actually have stations that people have like a population of 1,500, 1,800, very similar to Harrison. Mm-hmm. And we've introduced resident deputy programs in some of these communities, and they've worked out well. We call them town sheriffs. And for that town, like in Gorman, California, it's like a town sheriff program. And these are some of the ideas that I bring. I don't bring institutional ideas, but I bring ideas that can help our community here in Kootenai County. So I want people to know that I don't bring any California baggage with me.
Yeah.
I am absolutely conservative and 100%.
That's actually funny because I just found that out not too long ago, that California's counties are so big that you can have these little small towns that's still in like LA County. It's crazy. I had no.
Absolutely.
So what are some of your, I know you are very, very busy and doing a lot of campaigning, a lot of things, but what are your like hobbies and things that you like to do?
You know what? Love to hang out with my animals. Love to obviously hang out with my family. We like to hike. We like to exercise. Well, sometimes we like to exercise. There's some days it's a little more difficult than others.
Mm-hmm.
But hiking, boating, hanging out with our animals is really some of the things we really, really like to do and like to explore this great county of ours.
Yes. So what's your favorite restaurant in Kootenai County?
You know, this was the most difficult question of all.
I'd love to know. So maybe this is just selfishly, I want to know what each candidate likes to. I'm like, oh, I've actually never heard of that one.
So I grappled with this one. There's so many great choices that we have here in Kootenai County. But I've never had a bad dish at the White House or the Oval Office.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the atmosphere is very, very quaint, and it's kind of like that Boston bar Cheers, you know, where you might walk in a stranger, but you leave with friends. And I got to tell you, I've never had a bad meal there.
Those are great. That's a great one. I always forget because it's in Post Falls and I live in Coeur d'Alene, but those are gems.
Yeah. So if I had to pick one, but it's a tight race. Those two restaurants obviously owned by the same owner. But those are two of our favorites. Yes.
Yes, perfect. So I know that here in Idaho, we're starting to do in stages of lifting the quarantine, the stay at home, which is, it's good. We're doing in stages, but let's just say that things are all lifted. What's the first thing that you want to do as soon as you're able to?
I think we've taken for granted socializing and, just being able to have a little bit of freedom and go to the gym because, we all have gym friends that we don't necessarily hang out with outside of the gym, but it's nice to say hi to them and what have you. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to go to our favorite restaurants. I'm looking forward to be able to go to do things that we took for granted beforehand, and just have a little bit of socialization that, human beings need. We need food and water, we need shelter, and we need socialization. I mean, those are the three things that we need to thrive. And so I'm looking forward to that part of it.
Perfect answer. I'm right there with you. So what's a piece of advice that you could give a younger you?
A piece of advice that I would give a younger me is challenge yourself and challenge yourself out of your comfort zone and identify what your weaknesses are and work 3 times as hard on your weaknesses than you do your strengths.
Perfect. Those are great. So I think I got through all of them, but give me a closing message. What is the last thing that you want everyone to know? And then the reasons that I'm doing this is the people that are out on social media that don't necessarily get to see you in the paper or on different platforms within our newses. But what is the last piece of advice you would like to give everybody about you or voting? Or also we need to remind everybody that you need to do absentee ballot, which I didn't know until I started talking to you guys. So last little plug to give everybody.
Well, I can predict that each of the candidates are going to say why they may or may not be the best person for this job. But I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take the word of 2 of the past general managers of this sheriff's office, and they're called undersheriffs, or what we call the number 2. And they are the day-to-day operation managers of the sheriff's office. And they have both endorsed me, and they have both said that, hey, we have some candidates that are running. Some have experience in both sides of the house. Some have experience in community-based policing. But both of the last 2 undersheriffs have endorsed me and said it's time for the sheriff's office to be prepared for this growth that we're in. And so I'd like for you to take their word for it. I would also like you to take the word of the Kootenai County Deputy Sheriff's Association. They conducted a series of interviews, forums, investigations, and they left no stone unturned. And they also came up with an endorsement, and that endorsement was for Robert Norris. So I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take the word of the two last general managers of the sheriff's office, the men and women that are actually out there doing the work. I want you to take their word for it. And what you did say is we need to register for an absentee ballot. It does not appear like there will be any traditional polling places. So please register to vote, and vote for what our paper says today. And I know that your readers don't get the CDA press, but here it is. Vote Norris for sheriff.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're super busy, but thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.